Hi, my name is Idalis Williams, and this is my presentation of Searching for an Intervention in Effective RTI. My inquiry question was, how do students who received an individualized, high-leveled literacy intervention in first grade become successful independent readers in a second grade classroom setting without outside support? So just to give you some background, this is my first year in teaching second grade, and an ongoing trend in our district is that students who received a high-level literacy intervention known as reading recovery in first grade did not transfer those skills learned in reading, decoding, comprehension strategies to second grade. And it was almost as if they regressed and you were starting back over from the beginning, and this was an ongoing trend. So this was a perfect inquiry question. The context is second grade, a small group of students, 4 females and 1 male. This is this current school year, and I ended up assembling what I'm going to refer to as a research panel. And that was comprised of myself, my co-teacher, a reading recovery teacher, another second grade teacher, and the principal, who is also the language arts department chair. The journal article used was the Journal of Learning Disabilities, and the title was Response to Intervention for Reading Difficulties in the Primary Grades, Some Answers and Lingering Questions. My objective was that we were seeking to bridge the gap between the first grade interventions and the transfer of skills and performance levels into the next school year, which is second grade. The purpose is that the skills did not transfer, particularly in the areas of reading, decoding, comprehension, and we want to provide support that will help these students be successful. So our goal is to walk away with an RTI model that can be put into place by second grade classroom teachers. Step 1. This actually started prior to my project because we assess our students in September. Using the F&P benchmark leveling kit, we found the reading levels of our whole grade level. I found the reading levels of all of our students and identified any students that had red flags, students that were below grade level. So we used the assessment kit. The correlation chart just shows you where they were at. So the students that I'm focusing on were below grade level, so I am grade 2, which starts at level H. These students were anywhere from a C to an E, which is below the middle of grade 1. When these students left reading recovery, they left around H, GH, where they should have ended, so clearly they regressed. The research panel that I referred to is because we needed to analyze the data from the assessments. We pulled the files of the students from first grade. We analyzed the reading recovery reports. We looked over the new assessments because there is differences between the reading recovery assessments and the F&P assessments. So we just wanted to make sure that we had an accurate gauge of their ability. So they were leveled by different teachers, and it was found that there is a big, they regressed in skill level from what they leveled out of in reading recovery to what their current abilities were. So we needed to form a plan of action, and it was agreed upon our panel that the Reading Recovery Program is a successful program, and that these students may just be in need of an extension of the program into second grade to get them started. Unfortunately, due to limited funds, there is not a reading specialist in second grade, nor is there an available reading recovery teacher. So we're in search of a highly effective, cost-effective RTI model that can be put in place by the grade level teachers themselves. So with limited resources, we had very few options. Like I said, we didn't have a reading recovery teacher that could bridge the gap and come over to the second grade building. That's where LLI instruction comes into play. And LLI stands for Leveled Literacy Intervention. We also would be creating a student data wall. This is an ongoing construction. This is just a picture of one from the web. Ours does not look like this. Our goal is to have something like this in the future, but we have started to compile the data. I have a picture of a clock here because scheduling is key. Our goal is to have a grade level RTI model where the whole grade level basically freezes and RTI is in place, and there are districts that do this, not using additional teachers like basic skills teachers. It's done by the regular classroom teachers themselves. This is a goal that we're striving for perhaps for next year, but more immediately we're going to be using ourselves to provide the level of literacy instruction. Phase 4 was the research, where we used the journal article, and it helped us find the most effective RTI models, and it suggested that a daily literacy instruction approximately for 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, consistently in a small group setting would be the most effective, which is exactly what LLI is. It takes place over 5 days a week for 30 minutes a day, in addition to their current guided reading. So that brings us to phase 5, the training, funding, and professional development. So with my principal on board, he found funding through Title I, and he purchased leveled literacy intervention kits. You know, interventions can be expensive, but I was glad we were able to find the funding for this because it was such an important thing that so many students could benefit from. So it was a great investment for us. Myself and another second grade teacher who's actually my mentor volunteered to be trained. So we got a sub for 2 days and we were trained in LLI, and we made a ranking sheet, and it turns out that my 5 students were among the lowest, so they were first up on the ranking sheet of students that we would pull for LLI. Now, just to summarize, our students got pulled daily, 5 days a week. So far we've been in LLI for 4 weeks. Now, the program is designed to be a fluid program so they can successfully go back into the classroom. We're working on skills like decoding strategies, what to do when they come across a word they don't know. A lot of these strategies they already learned in reading recovery, and what I'm noticing is some of those students who, if I go back to the grade level correlation chart, some of those students who were assessed in September to be around an EF, grade 1, after only approximately 5 weeks in LLI, they are already upwards to a GH. So I'm seeing progress, and I'm seeing it fast. I credit this to the great work of the reading recovery teachers, and I really think that these students just needed an extra push, something additional to guided reading. In guided reading, you know, you're working with a group of approximately 5, sometimes even 6 students in some cases, and it's not as specific to the phonics skills and the decoding strategies as LLI is. So it does incorporate your comprehension and your additional skills, but it really gives these students the boost that they need. And because it is every day, 5 days a week for 30 minutes, and it also comes along with books that they take home and read daily, it really is a heavy intervention, and it's exactly what these students need to push them back up to grade level. And you know, the success that we're seeing is having positive impacts on their writing, because it incorporates writing as well, and we're seeing all around improvement in the classroom. And so LLI is a successful intervention. We're currently doing this during Reader's Workshop independent reading, since they can't miss any other subject area. And it's tough to squeeze in there because we are regular ed teachers who have to plan for this along with other, our regular day. But it's worth it. It's worth the extra time. It's worth the extra planning and squeezing it in.